Hey guys, Jess with Floral Wreath. We are going to work on this gorgeous, isn't that pretty? It's a spring wreath, but technically it's a March's Reading Month wreath, and I have these gorgeous florals that are going to be perfect. And while you guys are finding me, I'm just going to trim them up real quick. So for our outside, we're going to be using these. It is, let's see here, item CS12663. This is called boxwood. And I'm just going to do a little trimming. Leave about maybe 2 inches on that stem so that it does stick out a little bit. We don't want it to be hiding. We want to make sure that this wreath, you can tell it has the natural feels, and it'll help bring out the greens in the sign. So say hey when you hop on. We're just trimming up some of our floral to get ready for this wreath. These were all from the at-home store. I'm just going to trim these off. They're these long branches, and they're like holly berries, but for springtime. So I'm just gonna leave as much stem on there as we can and make sure we have at least 12, because we have 12, we're gonna have 12 ties around the outside. And we wanna make sure that each of those ties has one of these berry clusters in it. So we're just gonna separate them out. Good morning, Shelly, how are you? Shelly, aren't these pretty? They're like holly berries, but for springtime. And I'm just getting them all ready to go for our wreath. That time snuck up on me a little quick. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 4, 5. And that's one of the nice things about if you buy one of these big branches, you can separate it out. You don't have to leave it just how it is, you know? 6. Yeah, these are from the at-home store. Aw, thank you, Shelly. Thanks, appreciate you. Are you in the Eastern time zone, or is it earlier where you are? We're here in Michigan, and it is rainy today. It was even a flood watch I saw was on my phone this morning, which thankfully our area doesn't really flood normally. But it's something to think about as you're driving to school, you know. You're like, we do go over some bridges. And I know you always hear that bridges flood quicker or all the different things. So I was like, all right, we're okay. 10 a.m. Okay, not too bad. It is 11 o'clock here. And we're just trimming up some of these berry clusters. This was from the at-home store. It was in their spring section, one of their aisles. All the beautiful spring things. If you guys ever want to be tempted to buy all the things, I would go to the at-home store. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I was looking at the sign and I was trying to pull out all the pinks, all the different tones. There's so many beautiful tones in here. Hey Marianne from Alabama, nice to see ya. Hopefully you're having a good day today. Hopefully the weather's behaving. It is raining here. We've had some very beautiful days lately, but I'm thankful it's not snow. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Let's set this over here, because we'll probably need this for our, put some in our top layer. Just gonna set it over here for now. All right, so we have our bottom. We got our floral, our greenery, and then these gorgeous little berry picks. Thank you so much, Marianne. Marianne, which one? We are going to be using those. We're going to be using these gorgeous daisies. You know what? We're just going to put these in the bottom layer too. You know what? It's okay. Can never add too much. Technically you can. It's okay. We're going to alternate these. Every other one. These are so cute. You know, this was actually in, I believe these were in the fall section. Fall daisies? So that's another thing when you're out searching for different florals to use. And if you're out at the store and you see things that don't match the season necessarily. I would never think burnt orange daisy. I mean, technically the color is fall, but I would never put daisies on a fall wreath myself. So I saw those in the fall section and they were a little bit discounted and I was like, I could use those on a summer wreath because towards the end of summer, I love using orange, the burnt orange, these deep fuchsias, kind of for like an Indian summer, you know? Okay, and we'll use those towards the top too. Okay, Marion, very nice. I just want to make sure I wasn't not calling you the right name the whole time because that would be not fun. All right, so yes, this is our sign. It's a 10-inch metal sign. I attached our cable mounts already on the back. I always do super glue, glue them down with Gorilla Glue hot glue around the edges, let it sit overnight. So there we go. This is our sign. It is technically a March is Reading Month sign. I don't know if you guys have little ones in school. They promote March is Reading Month because Dr. Seuss's birthday and all that good stuff. And so I was hired by my boys' school to make a prize for their March contest that they have for the teachers. So I get to make a nice large wreath and the school hired me to make that. So these are the mesh that we're going to be using. We have this really pretty blue and it has green in it too. The only time I've ever used this mesh was for a peacock wreath. So I think it's just perfect for this teal that's around the outside of the sign. And then we have pink with a burlap stripe through it. So brings in the natural tones of, you know, the browns in the books and the natural of the flowers. Okay, that's what I was thinking with that. Sometimes people ask me, how do you choose what colors you use? So I've been trying to talk to you guys about that. We got our 14-inch frame. I have all my ribbons around me for Easter. I always do that so that I don't leave any out, and then I just keep adding more and more and more as I use them, and then at the end of the season I put them all away. That's what I got going on right now. Okay, 14-inch frame. Thanks, Shelly. Appreciate you. And I know, I'm very excited about that. And I like knowing that, you know, my kids will see my wreath in their school. You know, that's sweet. I like that. All right, so I'm looking at my pipe cleaners and I'm seeing that I don't have a whole lot that match our color scheme, so we're just gonna go to the fallback, which is tan. If you guys don't need this step, you know, go take a little water break or something. I know some people, not some people, and I shouldn't let one person's comment alter how I do things. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I had one person comment one time and say, we all know how to wire the frame. Why don't you just do it ahead of time to save time? Really? Hey, Lois. Lois from West Virginia, raining and windy here. Yeah, we got rain and windy here too. We had a flood watch earlier. Thankfully, it wasn't a warning. But yeah, I mean, I'm thankful that, not that I'm inviting this, that the comments haven't been meaner yet lately. Or in general, but anytime you put yourself out there, you kind of, people give their opinions, good, mostly good, thankfully, you know. But yes, if any of the steps in this live you don't need, you can always, you know, just step away for a second, get something done, throw in some laundry, or, you know, you can catch the replay and rewind it and fast forward it. to your heart's content, you know. But there are some people that watch that don't know how to wireframe, so that's what I'm here for, to help out. Oh, let me see, Shelly. I have a grapevine wreath now on my work table with yellow tulips and a few purple flowers. Customer wanted, and she wants all color bow. Having a hard time making the bow for it. Okay, so the colors of the tulips are yellow and purple florals. Yellow tulips, few purple flowers, and then she wants a bow with lots of colors, correct? I would, if you can see any of the grapevine left, if it's not all covered, you know, if it's just like a half, you could incorporate natural tones to help like bring in the color of the grapevine, or pick a bow, like ribbons that are purple, yellow, and then one that maybe has colors in it that include purple and yellow, or include purple or yellow, you know. Teresa's from Pennsylvania. Hey, Michigan here. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, custom orders, you know, it's good to remember that the customer hired you for your expertise and professional eye and your experience, you know, but you have to keep in mind what they request as well, because you don't want to create something that you love and they do not, right? Because then you'll just end up with it hanging in your house, you know. Hey, Colleen. Yeah, not everyone knows how to wireframe, so you helping. Yep, all good. Thank you, Crystal. That's what I was thinking. Appreciate you. Like-minded ladies around here. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Girl, yes. Move along, right? I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't know. I feel like the comments come from people, usually, because I've been posting reels like on here and over on YouTube, because a lot of people, let's face it, we like, you know, fast things. You know, we want to, you know, see something and move along. We don't want to sit there for an hour and watch a wreath all the time. You know, so a lot of the reels are like a whole step, you know, like putting mesh on the wreath. And that takes like, I don't know, 10-ish minutes, maybe less. But I'll be fast forwarding it and I'll make it into 1 minute, right? So I'm talking at a normal speed and explaining. You're just not seeing, you know, the steps. Some people get real crappy about that. Hidden Gems Wreaths is my page. Okay, I'll have to, Teresa, I think I went back to go, I asked you that before, and then I feel like I went back to look at it and I could not find it in the feed. Facebook did something. So thank you. Thank you, Shelly. Karen, hey. I know. I mean, you know, when you put yourself out there, you open yourself up to opinions, right? Everyone's got one, right? Everyone's got an opinion. Some people share them, some people don't. Some people share good and bad. Some people just share the good. But yes. All right, so this is wired up. We got our 18 ties on there. We use tan because it helps. We're going to be using some tan ribbon. I really like the florals in this wreath and the natural tones, and I'm going to be incorporating those in the mesh, which has burlap stripes, and also in the ribbon, and obviously florals are natural looking, I should say. All right, so we just did the same as always, right? We just curl it a time or two, then just gather it up the middle. This has metallics in it. It's so pretty. And it helps bring out the teal in this gorgeous sign. The sign is from Rough River Wreaths. So 2 R's and a W. Rough River Wreaths on Etsy. And it is a 10-inch sign. They make it in lots of different sizes. I believe 6 inches all the way up to 12. 12 would be a time that you want your sign to fill the entire middle and not have any room for a bow. Some people like that. I like putting a bow on mine. So 10 inches works perfectly. 8 or 10 would be nice. Oh, I know. Teresa, I had never made a live until last year. So I hear ya. I was always hesitant because I was like, you know, telling my sister, I don't want to do a live because, you know, everyone, no, it's an overgeneralization. Oh, Marian. Yes. Good morning. Hey, Christy. There you go. Thank you, Marian. I never did one until last year. I used to have people messaging, you know, me, and they would say, you know, do you have a tutorial for this? Because so many wreath makers do make tutorials now. Some are cost, some do not. Not for me. Mine are all free. But I was hesitant to make any lives because I thought I wanted my workplace to look perfect. I wanted my camera angle to be perfect. I wanted my lighting to be perfect. I wanted my desk to be perfect. You know, I wanted it to look a certain, very specific way that looked very professional. And that's, I mean, it's kind of how my brain works, right? I watched 40 videos before I ever made a wreath, at least 40 videos before I ever made a wreath. That's just my brain. So I wanted it to be absolutely perfect and absolutely a certain way. Help, I'm not sure if you said, but how long? 30 inches. 30 inches, Marianne. I want it to be a specific way, and my sister reminded me that most people don't have like a magazine-worthy workplace. You know what I mean? Like, not everything looks like Martha Stewart, right? It's like, it's real, right? It's, you know, I pride that my area that I work in, that I store my wreaths, is pet-free, smoke-free, clean, right? I always put that in all my, you know, Etsy listings. I'm very aware of allergens and things like that. So, but I mean, this desk is my office desk from when I got married and moved in and had to get furniture. You know what I mean? Like, it has spots missing from where the hot glue pot got stuck to it. It has cuts from where I cut my mesh off of my mat. You know, is the lighting perfect? No, but it works. And I mean, I'm sure it'll get better over time, right? Practice makes progress. You know? You know what I mean, Teresa? 2 years, yeah. I know. So I mean, that's the good thing about people doing lives is you get to know, like, I get to know you guys get to know me, you know, not just posting a picture of a finished wreath, but you kind of get to know my personality, you know, and it's okay. Like, you know, there's lots and lots and lots of wreath makers out there. And I know with me, when I watch wreath makers, I kind of find ones that match my wreath making style. Maybe they have something to teach me that I need to learn. Maybe I like their personalities and, you know, the speed in which they make wreaths in general. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of different things that go into it, you know. And if you don't like my speed, you can, you know, catch it on YouTube and you can just fast forward it. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Give me some thumbs up or hearts if I'm not in the same boat here, but I know some of you guys come back every time, so I mean, can't be that far off. But, and I'm sure as time goes on, you know, my angles will get better, and, you know, some people want to just see my hands. Some people want to see my face and less of my hands as I'm working. I don't know. Some people like voiceovers. Some people don't like the chit chat. Some people want more chit chat. I mean, I don't know. You know? Hey, Sheila, how are you? Sheila, we're making a spring wreath that has florals, and the sign has books and florals, like that. So we're bringing out the pinks and the turquoise and the oranges and all the things, the natural tones. But yeah, 14-inch frame, 18 ties, 30-inch cuts of mesh. The ribbon is 13 inches long that we're going to be adding. We have 2 different pieces we're going to be putting into each spot of the mesh. And that's it. Aw, thanks, Teresa. Oh, Shelly. Thank you. You know, and I get it. Everyone likes different things. But it's okay. Moving on. What do you guys think about this color combination together? Like I said, I'd never used this blue before, except in peacock wreaths. I've made a couple peacock wreaths in the past. It's kind of like a springtime choice. I would use that mesh, and then I would use turquoise ribbons, and I would use purple, like very vibrant purple glittery ribbons, and just make a big bow. And I think I used some gold ornaments in it too. And that was pretty. Those were good ones. So when I saw this mesh, I was like, oh yeah, we'll have to get that, because I remember. I had forgot about it until I saw it. And I'm like, I remember that one. People like that one, and I do too. So we are alternating on the outside, the pink and the turquoise. And then when we hop up to the top layer, we are doing turquoise only. If you guys saw my live from yesterday, my lives, there was 3. Technically there was 4, but there was 3 that we were working on the Jesus wreath. And that one had this pink in it as well. The purple and the pink. I think that one turned out really nicely. Thanks, Shelly. I like it too. We're getting into the spring tones. I think I'm done making Easter wreaths, but I'm going to be making some, I have a carrot door hanger that I wanted to add a bow on. I have, what else? I might possibly make some centerpieces, but I don't know. Because I have a show, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the 21st, locally here. And I like to have some smaller items to offer. I do have a little table that I use. I think it's like a 4-foot table. And I put a little bit of things on there. Put my little sign on there. Thank you, Christy. Good. I like it too. Thanks. So yeah. But yeah, I get a little 4-foot table. I get my tablecloth obviously, and then I have my sign that has my Venmo scannable on it. I have my little sticker that says we take credit cards here, because I use Square as a credit card processor, which is nice because you can attach your Square right to your Etsy store, and then when customers buy things, it will take it right off your Etsy. So you don't have to, go back and adjust your sales. It will mark it sold right off your Etsy. So if for some reason a customer wants to buy it online, but you already sold it at the show or whatever, it doesn't allow them to buy something twice, because that would be problematic. But yeah, and then it counts it towards your Etsy sales. So that's kind of nice. That's nice. Because Etsy runs on algorithms. The more you sell, the more likely they're willing to show your stuff to customers. So if you have a craft show and you sell items and you put them through your Etsy shop, then it'll help you. So we're doing the top layer here right now. We got 6 on the top. Just making sure that none of our mesh is overlapping. We want it to be nice and full and fluffy. We don't want anything to be covered up. And turn. Keeping our thumbs stationary and just gathering it right up the middle. Trying to keep it as even on both sides as possible, and then I flip it and put the cut edge facing down. Mesh is a woven material. It will fray. That's just the nature of the game. But if you try to keep it even, if you make sure you use a sharp rotary cutter, it will help it not fray as much. But that's why I put the cut edge facing down, so that it does not show the frays to the customer as much. And that's why we roll it a couple times too before we put it in. Okay, we have 2 more pieces to put in, and then we can get going with our ribbon. else is going on today, guys? Do we have any Survivor fans that are excited for Survivor tonight? Come on. There's got to be a couple of you guys out there that watch Survivor. Survivor season 50. Survivor is one of the only shows I watch, like weekly shows. I'm not a huge TV watcher. When I do watch things, I watch sometimes other wreath makers making wreaths. I watch Hallmark movies. I watch Survivor. And that's about it. And if you guys have to leave early before this wreath is completed, you can always share this live to your page if you click the share button. And that way it'll post right to your page, and then you won't have to go looking for it when you want to finish watching it. Just wanted to point that out because sometimes I forget to do that. Because sometimes, like, then you'd have to go back to my page and, like, sort through all the things. Not that my posts aren't all so great, but... Who's watching Survivor? Guys, come on. I got a hard time believing that we have no Survivor fans here. I'm excited about it, that's for sure. All right, we're just pulling up our mesh, make sure nothing's overlapping. Here we go. Okay, the light is behind it, so obviously it looks a little bit more see-through than it actually is, but that's what we have so far. Aren't those colors pretty? Oh, thank you, Lois. Yes, I do too. And it's metal. We attached our cable mounts to the back. Yes, I like it too. See, it's gonna go up here on the top. Just kind of like the same layout as our Jesus one that we did yesterday, where the sign's gonna be a little bit higher. We're gonna have our bow down here, and it's gonna look gorgeous. So while we're here, I'm gonna tie off 2 of these. I almost said Q-tips. Pipe cleaners. They are not Q-tips. And because that's where we're gonna be putting our bow in between those 2. So let me just tie this off. There we go. Can you guys hear the sound of the mesh? You guys hear it? It's so quiet down here. You can hear all the sounds. Some people really like that. What's it called? ASMR. People really like that sometimes. Okay, so here's our ribbon that we're gonna be adding in. We have this one. They're all cut to 13 inches. This is like sage green with white, and they are actually there's a subtle sparkle to that. And then we're using this one, which is the same color as this pink one on the outside. So we're gonna be doing this pink one on the blue ones, and then the green one on the pink ones. That way the pink doesn't blend in with like this doesn't match. Yeah, so if you use this one on this one, it will blend in and you won't be able to see it as much. But if we put the pink on the blue, then it'll be better. And then these are our 1.5 inches that we're gonna be using on top of those ones. They're all 13 inches long. Okay, so let's get going. And I'm making sure that I don't use the stripe 1.5 inch on the stripe 2.5 inch. I'm breaking them up that way too. All right, so let's get going. Again, all 13 inches long. Okay, so we're just laying one on top of the other. And this brown, I like it because it helps bring out the natural tones. And then we got a little bit of a sparkle because why not? Okay, we're gonna be putting this on the pink like we talked about. We already have our pipe cleaners sticking up, so we don't need to add any more pipe cleaners or anything like that. We just give it 2 twists, 2 or 3 twists, and then just fold it down. And then spread them out. It'll look like this. Okay, so the goal is to have all your ribbon tails facing out, away from the wreath, because you want them to be able to be seen from the front, not just the side. Just lay one on top of the other. I always fold it in half like that because then I know I'm at the center point. I gather it like that, kind of bring it together like an inverted V, give it a little bit of an arch, and then put it right down in that pipe cleaner. anybody getting ready for Easter yet? I can't believe it's already on the horizon. I feel like there's a lot going on around that time. I have my birthday coming up, and we have Easter coming up, we have my mom's birthday coming up, and we have my youngest son's birthday coming up, all in that same little couple week period. So we got some good things coming up. But yeah, okay, just folding it down, opening up that pipe cleaner, which is already open because we only tied it once, and then just twist it a couple times and fold it under, and then bring those ribbon tails out to you. So what else is going on? Have you guys been seeing any flowers blooming by you yet? Any tulip sightings? Any crocus sightings? We have some crocus in our backyard, and you can see it out our kitchen window. And every morning I like to look out and see if it's blooming yet. That's always one of the first signs of spring. Floral Wreath, minutes tomorrow. What do you mean? Minutes tomorrow. I'm not sure. Maybe you're there's a typo in there. Or are you saying yours is tomorrow? Mine is tomorrow? I know. Autocorrect does us wrong sometimes. Doesn't it? Autocorrect is just trying to help, but sometimes it's like, hey, that's not what I was trying to say. Oh, nice. Well, happy early birthday, Marianne. Happy early birthday. April 15th. Oh, tax day. I know. I can't, yeah. It's coming. I know. I got all my stuff together. My least favorite part of taxes is adding together all that I've spent on supplies. It's my least favorite part for the deductions. Not a fan. Oh, the daffodils, Crystal says, getting ready. I know. We have, I like to go on walks in the morning, and we have several people in our neighborhood that have tulips that bloom every single year. And I'm always looking, seeing if the tulips are coming up. The crocus is always adorable. I always think it's adorable. It's a plant, I mean. But whenever our crocus blooms, I always look for bunnies. Oh, your birthday is tomorrow. That's what I thought. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Floral Wreath. Is your name Glenda? Or is your name your business name after somebody else? Well, yeah, so when our crocus blooms, once in a while we'll get bunnies in our backyard that eat the crocus. Oh, your birthday was yesterday! Happy belated birthday, Christy. Did you do anything fun? Anything extra special for your birthday? Eat some extra special foods for your birthday. That's what I like to do. As I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't really need things as much as, just like a fun time together, a fun time out with your people. Has anybody seen the blue in it? I don't know. Blue on it. I'm not sure, Glenn. Glenn's wreaths. Well, happy belated birthday, Christy. So we do have lots of birthdays. Spring is bringing regrowth and birthdays and all the good things. And March showers. March showers that are not bringing ice, so woohoo! We'll take it. We'll take it, right? I know a lot of places are, I was watching this one wreath maker. She was from I think she said Maine. And she said they were getting snow still. Lots of snow. And I'm like, oof. I'm thankful. Oh, good. I love that. Christy, yes. Do you, did you go somewhere like a chain, or did you go to like a small business in your area? Like a diner or a small, like a family-owned restaurant? How fun. That's what I like to do too. I like to go out for my birthday. Go out to eat somewhere special. That's so fun. I love that. When we were growing up, we got, when it was our birthday, oh, blue bonnets. Okay. Exactly. Hanging out with the family and good friends works just great. Exactly, Christy. Memories are priceless. You know, time is priceless. But when we were growing up, because I have a couple siblings, and when it was our birthday, we always got to choose what kind of cake we got. And everyone had to eat it, no matter if they liked it or not, you know? So that was always so fun. You know, you got to pick your cake type or your ice cream type. And then as we got older and we're closer to like teenagers, we would get to pick which restaurant our parents took us to. And nobody could complain if they didn't like it. I guess they could complain, just not to our parents. You know, it was just kind of like, you're going to eat there. And everyone just, ooh, yum. Logan's Roadhouse, nice. Tulips and azaleas are really blooming down here, and lots of, oh, perfect. We have no flowers yet here in Michigan, but I mean, it has been cold. And we've been seeing like a little green. We have these bushes that line our walkway up to our home, and I saw some little green tips on the ends of the branches, so it's coming. It's coming. We just gotta be patient. How fun. Good. Let's see. Yum. Good, Christy. I'm happy for you. I feel like, is Logan's Roadhouse the one with that cinnamon butter that comes with those rolls? Is that the one? No, we have a Outback Steakhouse near us that is always busy. Always, always, always busy. No matter the day or time, that parking lot is packed. I always remember they did a very good job. I don't know. Whoever was in charge was really good. And they opened up like right before COVID hit. So obviously they didn't know COVID was coming. Just like nobody knew. But right before COVID hit, they opened up the like carryout windows, like big carryout. Like they made a special window in the kitchen, and you could do carryout. And I remember sitting there in that restaurant, seeing the carryout and all like, you know, that came with it, like everybody coming in and getting their carryout food. And that was like one that was not a big deal back then. And I think that's what saved them, honestly, being able to do that. No flowers. Yeah, Christy, I know. Oh, I know. I saw a robin too, Christy. Christy, if I asked you where you're from in Michigan? Cabana strips? Because I know, I do. Here's why I like them. I like cabana stripes because they seem like a pattern, but also a solid, if that makes sense. It's kind of like Swiss dots, right? They're so, it's so subtle. I like to use burlap ribbons a lot that have subtle pattern in them. All right, so we're going to add our sign in before we add the last ribbons, or the last ribbon tails, because I don't want them to get frayed at all. And sometimes that happens if you're adding a big sign and then your ribbon gets stuck underneath. You bring it out and the ends are a little frayed. We don't want that. So I think that, Texas Roadhouse. Outback, Logan's, and Texas Roadhouse. We have, what is it called? Yeah, Outback, obviously. And then there's another one. I don't remember what it's called, but it's still a chain, but it's a little bit classier than Outback. Like it's a little higher end. Not that Outback's not classy, but it's a little bit higher end. I don't think it's Logan's. Let me think about it. Outback. It'll come to me. I'm not sure. But Yum. I know. Downriver. Okay. South of Gratiot. Okay, Christy, I'm in Sterling Heights. So that is also south of Detroit, but I think not in the same area as you. Yep, Sterling Heights is where we are. My husband, you know, so we're about an hour from Detroit. All right, so we're gonna be placing this not in the middle. Okay, we have our 2 spots with our pipe cleaners, and we're making sure that we're not putting this completely centered, because then if we put our bow down here, it would cover up the sign. So technically you could center it if you were not going for a bow. This 10-inch, it could work, but we're putting it higher up. I know. The rain today, Christy, is probably gonna bring some flowers. I did see a robin yesterday too, now that you bring it up. And sometimes I wonder when it gets like warm like this, warm like 40s, 50s, and then it gets cold again, I wonder how that affects the animals. You know, the animals are probably like, all right, it's time to wake up, guys. It's time to go find all the acorns that we buried. Okay. Numerous places. I don't know where Seagal is. Oh, there you go. Yep, that makes sense, Christy. That makes sense. That is downriver. You're right. All right. Okay, we want to make sure that it's even, like even over these. But yeah, our favorite place is a family-owned place, but it is steak. But I like to get salmon there. It's so good. My husband likes steak. I like fish. But most steakhouses these days have really good fish, and some fish places have good steaks. I mean, not all, but yum. Yes, that's what I like to do too for my birthday. All right, so we're attaching this right to the frame. We want to make sure it's tight enough where it's not going to go anywhere, but we don't want to make it so tight that it squishes any ribbons behind it, because, you know, that's a look that you don't necessarily want, right? But you also don't want your wreath sign sagging down where it's, you know, slowly going to be over the bow, right? You want it to stay up. Okay. There we go. Oh, look how pretty that looks together. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm liking it. I'm liking the way this looks. All right, let's add our ribbon tails on the top. Now that we got our sign situated. Do you put the pipe cleaners through the mesh? I do. I do. You can put it through the mesh, or you can put them around the mesh. But if you put them through the mesh, they're less likely to be able to be seen. And it also gives a layer of protection that the sign isn't going to droop over time. And that's why I always attach it to the frame at a crossbar section as well. But sometimes signs over time can droop because, you know, the pipe cleaner gets loose, or I don't know, it could just slide, I guess. And if you put it through the mesh, it's like an extra layer of stickiness, because the mesh is going to help, you know, hold it up too. So it's a little more complicated that way, but I know that my friend over at Decor by Dawn, she sells these plastic embroidery needles that people use to help get their pipe cleaners through the mesh. Like, you'll take your pipe cleaner and put it through the eye of the needle because it's big and plastic. And she sells them in her Etsy shop. So if you guys ever needed that, you could head that way. Wreath Decor by Dawn. But this wreath sign is by Rough River Wreaths. She's here on Facebook too. And she is so fast with her shipping. And the sign is just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, than it's portrayed online. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend her. You guys have heard me talk a few times about that because that's where I got my Jesus signs from too. And she's in Kentucky and I'm in Michigan. And I ordered like Tuesday night, and by Thursday in the mail, it was here. Like that fast. So it's definitely impressive. Reaching underneath and grabbing those pipe cleaners, tying in our ribbon, tucking the pipe cleaner underneath, and then bringing our ribbons up. Enjoyed watching. I'll have to catch briefly later. Oh, have fun. Have fun, Christy. Enjoy those little ones. The replay will be available soon. As soon as I'm done here, it'll post to my wall. Thanks so much for hanging out, for talking. Have a blessed day. But yeah, guys, we're adding our ribbon in right now. We're about to make our bow, add in our florals, and then we'll be done. This wreath is perfect for springtime into summer. I know reading is obviously always a good thing, but it seems like it's been more popular for people to be like talking about what they've been reading lately. I don't remember that really being a thing where people would post like book reviews and stuff. That seems to be a thing now, which is good. All right, so there we go. Those are our ribbons. What do you guys think so far? We're gonna put our bow down here. That's what we got going so far. So let me just set this right over here, and we're gonna make our bow. Okay, so when we're picking our colors, I wanna choose colors that are in the sign, obviously. I think orange would be nice. This orange here I'm gonna use. And some natural tones. I like this one. Yeah, it is Etsy. Yep. Yeah, just go on Etsy, type rough river wreaths, all as one word. That's how I found her. R-O-U-G-H, river wreaths. All right, so we want that. I want that. I want... Sorry, I didn't plan this out. I want pink. A similar pink to what we used in the mesh. So let me see. All my pinks over here. I don't want to use too many polka dots. I might want to use some florals. Let me pull in my florals and see if any of these will work. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if any of these florals will work. I think this one works. That one works because it's got the turquoise in it and the yellow and the pink. Yep, do that. These ones do not work in my opinion. This one kind of does, but I feel like I don't want to use that because it has more. I'm going to be adding daisies, and these don't have daisies in them. Blue. Yeah, this one has a little blue in it. Yep, Lois, I hear ya. I hear ya, I hear ya. Let's do that. And let's see what else. We don't want any Easter colors. Do we need some black? No. But I do like this one. It has a lace edge on it, and I really like that. I wish we could use that, but I don't feel like it's good for this one. You guys tease me about those cabanas. That's like a cabana, but it's a little different. It's a little more the stripes are a little more, organic. They're a little swirly. Okay. I like this one because this has that fuzzy edge. You guys know I love that. And let's find one more, this one. I'm trying to do solids because I feel like I wish I had more of that. Oh, okay. Okay, I forgot that I pulled this aside. So some wreath sellers, not me, but some people that sell supplies, they will sell bouquets. And it will have enough ribbon to make a bow and it'll match. So this one, I don't want to use in this because like there is some pink, but not like so much pink that you'd want to include it. But I feel like this pink and this yellow and this green all go with the sign. So we're going to be using those. So let me pull those out. And I don't even know how much comes in this little section, but oh, this is so pretty. I've been wanting to buy this ribbon. Can you guys see it has embossed pattern on it? I like that. That's the type of detail that I like. All right, so we'll use these ones and then we'll keep that for another day. Okay. All right, we got it. We got it. We got everything under control with this. All right, so we're gonna start with orange. This was from, it doesn't, I think it was from Hobby Lobby. This orange burlap. But yeah, if you're just coming on, say hey. Let me know where you're watching from. We're making a bow to match our gorgeous wreath. Okay, let's do that. So what else you guys got going on? Today is what, Wednesday? How's you guys this week going so far? We're halfway through. We have a little garbage can that I keep by the side so I can put all my ribbon tails in there. All right, we're doing 12-inch tails because why not? And then we're gonna start with 6-inch loops. This is a burlap ribbon. They're closer to 7 inches. We're gonna do the 2, the 1, the 2, like that. And it'll be a little bit of a surprise with those extra ribbons, how long they are. I don't even know. So we'll work it out together. We'll work it out together. And I like to put it down in my Bodabra, how I'm going to put it on my wreath, so that there's less work to do when it's done. I can already have it spread out. This one is like fallish, but I brought it out because it matches the carrots and some of my Easter ribbons. I didn't get to it, but I do have this really pretty natural cream colored Easter ribbon that has carrots that are the same color. So it's really brought this out, but I didn't end up using it this season at all, so we'll see. Yeah! Lois! Woohoo! And you didn't hate it. You know what? That's one step closer to loving it. That's one step closer to liking it. Right? And then we love it. I know. We're always our worst critics, though, right? Always the worst critics. I know I am. Which, I mean, is a good thing, right? It keeps you, you know, it's better to be your worst critic than to just be not self-aware, maybe. But I feel like we all just, I don't know. It's good to want to do your best. And it's good to want to put out your very best product for your customer who's using their hard-earned money on your item. That's how I look at it for me. But good, Lois. I'm meaning to share. I saw on my Etsy shop, it shows you, like, when you go to list an item, it shows you past items that have a similar title that have sold out. And it was showing me my very first wreath I ever sold, which was an Easter wreath. And it was funny because it's just like, you know, it's kind of like when kids are growing. You don't see them growing at the time. But then if you look back at pictures, you're like, oh, look how little they were. Right? It's kind of like that with wreath making too, I feel like. You know, you just get better every time you do it. You know, practice makes progress, right? So it's just kind of the same thing. Like, you don't realize that you're learning new things and trying new things, and it makes your wreaths look better, you know, until you look back and you're like, oh, that one was good, but these ones are better. You know? So, yeah. All right, so we're gonna be using this one. This is so pretty. It's an embossed ribbon. I've never used this type of ribbon before, and they make it in like every color. I've seen it in 1.5 inch. I've seen it in 2.5 inch. And it's gorgeous. I like that. Get the tails going the right way. So we'll see. Try not to knock everything off my table. But yes, this wreath is for my boys' school. They have March is reading month, and this is for the winner of a contest that they're doing for the month of March to help, you know, encourage the kids and encourage the teachers. You know, we're getting towards the end of the school year, you know, so the winning class, the teacher gets a wreath. The school hired me to do that, which I love that. I love that opportunity. I love the possible exposure that I'll be getting by more people seeing my wreaths. You know, because I feel like more than half the battle is getting the eyes on your wreath, you know. Because the more people that see your wreaths, the higher chance that someone will see it, that it matches their decor or their interests, you know. You know, the wreaths are it's a very niche market, right? People that want custom wreaths and understand that it's not, you know, $9.99 at the store, at the chain store, you know. All right, trying to make our loops even here. All right, perfect. I know these colors look a little interesting together, but I think it's gonna turn out just fine. Okay, we're gonna do this one, fuzzy edge burlap, the plaid. I used this one yesterday too in our bow, our Jesus one, which is still available, by the way. It was the 4th one that I've made with that side for this season. The other 3 were customs, and that one was not spoken for yet. So, we'll see. Okay, we come in about a 1/2 inch in length of the tails and the loops, each layer. Always dovetail, except that woven one, I don't always dovetail it because sometimes you can't even tell because the way that it's like an open weave. Only been at this for about an hour so far, so that's not bad. A lot of the time is in the prep work, as you guys know. And I try to get most of that done before we all get together, so you guys aren't sitting there watching me cut ribbon tails, you know. Not super fun. All right, so let's do this one now. This is so pretty. It has little butterflies on it even. What's going on, guys? This is cute. I like this one. And I wanted to make it like reading themed, you know, because it's reading month, but not so themed that the teacher wouldn't want to hang it on their door at home, you know. After the school year's done, they don't need to hang it in their class. They can take it home and hang it on their door. But I thought, so I was trying to make it, you know, applicable for that, where it wasn't so themed, you know, like with Dr. Seuss on it or something, right? Because it's like, you know, that's perfect for the classroom, but not necessarily for a home, you know, on your home door, you know. Some people might like that, but trying to keep that in mind. And I think I did a good job. And that sign, you can get words printed on it too. Like there's different versions. Like it can say hello, welcome, or it can be plain, like the one that I got. So it's a good option. Our Bodabra's reaching capacity here. I'm trying to think if I want to put a flower in the middle there. I don't think I do, so I'm just gonna turn that and make a little bump to hide that picture. What do you guys think about this so far? Do you guys have any questions? I feel like it's getting a little bit quiet. I don't think I'm going to use those ribbons. Most of these ribbons were from craftoutlet.com. My go-to place. That open weave one, this burlap colored one, I think that you can find that at Hobby Lobby too. The orange one, I believe, was from Hobby Lobby in the fall time. If it wasn't, I've seen it there before. All right, let's make sure that our loops are all even. Now we're going to pull this off of the Bodabra, making sure that we got all the layers in between tightly in our hand so that nothing is falling off, nothing is going sideways. And then we're just going to gather it around the back and twist it as tightly as we can. You can never tighten it tight enough, right? So there's no way to like do it wrong if you do it too tight. All right, let's bring all of our tails. I always make sure I keep my thumb right here on the pipe cleaner when I grab my tails so that I don't accidentally pull it out of the bow, which can happen. I know because it's happened to me. What do you guys think about this one? Just putting our fingers in those loops, opening them up. Don't be scared to handle that wire ribbon. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. What's going on with this orange loop here? Here we go. There she is. Let's add this into our wreath. And then it will be time to add in our florals. when you put it in, make sure that all your loops are going the right way. You don't want them to be getting all twisted up and stuff like that. Okay, I'm putting it right in between those two mesh bundles. Right to the frame, of course. We want to make sure that it's even. We don't want our bow to be, you know, off to one side. We want it to be right in the middle of that sign. We don't want it to be off to the side or anything like that. Get a nice angle. Go. All right. All right. All right, here we are. Like this ribbon is not as thick as I wanted it to be. That floral one. It's a little bit thin, but I think it'll be okay because I think this is meant for indoor use. I can sit here and fluff this all day. Okay, we'll be done for now. All right, and it's not encroaching on the sign at all. All right, here's what we have so far. See? All right, let's add our florals in. Let's do it. Okay, we're gonna start around the outside. These are the florals we're gonna be using. We're gonna be using these orange ones and these pink ones. Every other one on the outside. We have this greenery that's gonna go in every single one. We have these pink berries. They're kind of like a light coral, and these are going to go in every single one on the outside as well. And then we have extras left over that we're going to use for the top layer. So let me grab my glue pot. This is called a Surebonder glue pot. Some people use like actual skillets that you would use in the kitchen. I do not. And I bought this, but I've had this for years. It's been lasting. You put hot glue sticks or Surebonder sells pellets you can get. So whatever your preference is. But I would always suggest using Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue. Glue sticks, hot glue sticks. We did leave a little bit of a stem on that daisy so that we can see it from the front. I know there's kind of 3 things in one is a lot, but you know what? It's okay. It's all seen. I think that's going to be beautiful. We don't want to use, you know, an embellishment that you can't see from the front. I used to do that a lot when I first started making wreaths and using florals. Because there was a time, quite a long time, that I did not use florals at all. I would use ribbon and mesh, and that's it. And then I would slowly start not liking to see the pipe cleaner. So then I would add in florals, but the way that I would add florals, because I was very intimidated to use florals, I wasn't sure what colors would look good. I wasn't sure, because florals cost money, right? So I was like a little bit nervous to like make that choice and be wasteful, you know, and so when I first started using florals, I would get a large flower and I would rip off the head and stick it on my pipe cleaner. That's what I would do every time. It'd be like this daisy, and I would just like rip the head off and just stick it down on the pipe cleaner so that you couldn't see the pipe cleaner anymore. And you know what? As barbaric as that sounds, it worked, and lots of people liked it. I mean, I sold lots of wreaths that way. Did it look the best that it could? No. But did I know any better at the time? No. Right? You can't do better if you don't know better, right? Like Oprah used to say. So, I mean, it was the best that I knew how to do at the time. And I did the best that I could. And you know what? I sold wreaths like that, so it obviously didn't look bad. but it could have looked better. So now I kind of, as you do it, you know, and you kind of gain confidence, right? You kind of find out what looks good, you know, what colors look good for what seasons, and, you know, what colors look good together, and like how to look at a sign and see which florals would look good with the sign and that type of thing. And then you do it, you know? So that's how it goes. I had gone to a wreath retreat. Hold on, that berry is not my favorite. Let me get it real quick. I'd gone to a wreath retreat a few years ago, the only one that I've ever gone to, and it was put on by Sincerely Creative Mom. In case you didn't know, she's from Michigan too. She's about an hour from me, and I went to one of her retreats, and they were doing, the make and take was a patriotic that had florals in it. I'd never used florals before in a wreath, but I trusted the process. You know, I was like, okay, well, if they put this together, because it was kind of like a kit, right? So, you know, everybody was doing the same thing. So they gave us the ribbons, they gave us the mesh, they gave us the florals, and I was like, all right, well, if they chose these florals and obviously they match, I can trust this. And I made that wreath. And while I was at the event, I, like during like one of the breaks or whatever, I had my sister take a picture of me with the wreath, and it sold before I even left that event. Which is always exciting, right? And that's encouraging. And it kind of made me think, okay, well, I guess people do like this. I've never done it before, but I guess people like it. You know, it gave me the, you know, confidence to try it and do it more. And that was probably 2 or 3 years ago now. And after that day, did I add florals to every single wreath? No. You know, it took some time. The way my brain works is I don't want to, if I'm not completely confident, I won't do it because I don't want to waste product, right? I don't want to make something and then not like the way it looks. It's just my brain. It's just how my brain works. So, I don't know. But I've been trying to take more risks with different types of things, right? We tried out that 60919 floral bush I've been using on different wreaths, even though it's a little spendy. I like it. And people like the way it looks and all the things. So, but yes, these florals were from the at-home store. The orange ones were in the fall sale section. Fall daisies? No, but I mean, technically they're orange, so I don't know if somebody made a mistake on that, or if that was, maybe they didn't sell them in the fall because they're not a fall flower. Either way, it worked out for me because I was able to get some. So, and I'm using them on this project, but that was a good way that I was able to kind of think outside the box and think that I would like to buy those daisies, and I would never use them in fall, but I will use them in summer. So they're coming home with me, you know. What do you guys think? We're almost done. Almost done. I can tell I'm getting a little bit like I could use another cup of coffee. Using the pink. I think this pink would be pretty for Easter too. That's kind of what I was thinking when I bought it. Okay, we don't want to push it too far in because we want to make sure that we can see these from the front. But we want to make sure that's making good contact with the mesh so it's not going to fall out of the wreath. What do you guys think so far? Okay. We're getting close to the bow and the tails. I want to make sure that we're not getting any glue on those ribbons, so be careful. When you dip your glue, make sure there's nothing falling off for your safety and for your wreath. Because once you get hot glue on ribbon, you cannot get it off. Can't. It's on there. And we use Gorilla Glue hot glue, so it's meant to not come off. We're going to put a little bend in these so that make sure that we're not going to get stuck, because we are going to, as always, we always add the florals and the embellishments underneath the bow as well. Because you know what? That's just how we do it around here. We have these last two. They look about the same. I was going to see if there was one that I liked a little less. I would put it underneath there. But I like them both. So. With this glue pot, always be careful, because it does drip hot glue. You know, hot glue is in the liquid form in here, and you don't want it to drip on you. We're on our last one, and then we're gonna hop up to the top. What do you guys think about this so far? Do you guys like it? I think we made some good color choices. Would you have made different color choices? You can tell me. Preferably in a nice tone. I mean, it's up to you. But, you know. Sorry. If you know, you know. All right. All right, let's hop up to the top. Let's make some choices. All right, so we have some of the pink left, the pink balls, and we have more of the daisies. I kind of thought, I've been really loving adding in tulips, but I don't think we're going to do that in this design because we don't have tulips anywhere else, so putting tulips on the top would be a little bit, it just wouldn't match. You know, it'd be disjointed, I think the word you could use for that. All right, so we got 3. I just want to use this whole bush up because I don't want to store with only a little bit on here. You know, I have a floral bush that has 11 pieces of greenery. I think it's gorgeous, and whoever wins it will be very happy. Oh, thanks, Crystal. Yeah, hopefully the school sends me a picture. That would be cute. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is, not just teacher, right? Like, teachers are people outside of classrooms. They're not just teachers. That's not their, that's a large part of their identity, but that's not who they are as people, right? So I wanted to make something that they could display in their home as well, or on their door as people, not just teachers, right? So I shouldn't say just teachers, not as teachers. Teaching is a very noble profession and much needed. We need gifted teachers to help our children, right? All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So instead of putting them here where the pipe cleaners are, we can put them in the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to cover up the bow because normally I would stick a little one right there, which I probably will. So let's see if we can find one that is smaller than the rest, which is this one. We're going to stick it down in there so it's not really covering up the sign, but it gives a little bit, it kind of connects the bow to the florals and the rest of the wreath, if that makes sense. It's looking great. I really like the florals you chose, says Lois. Thank you, Lois. You're too sweet. Appreciate you. All right, so we're going to put this behind the sign. Behind the sign, I said. Please listen. There we go. All right, so we're putting it behind the sign in between the ribbon bundles. Okay. So we're gonna make sure that we push the sign down and stick it in between, allowing the mesh and the sign to catch that floral and adhere. Yes. How many coffees do you guys drink a day? Or tea? I know some of you guys don't like to drink coffee. I post like that good morning, you know, like during the time change, like the good morning, and I'm like, who's on there? Who's got extra big coffee today? And a lot of you guys like to drink tea, I learned. See, that's something I would have not known. I feel like I'm too immature to like tea. My palate is too immature for that. I feel like unless I am sick and I can't handle coffee, you know, the creaminess of the coffee, that's the only time in my life you'll ever find me drinking tea. That's it. That's all. I like coffee. I like coffee with creamer. Flavored creamers. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. These are, again, from the at-home store. This whole bush was $8.99, which is a pretty good deal, in my opinion. Okay, we're gonna use 2 oranges. We're gonna use 2 pinks. I almost had 2 greens. I was looking at the leaves. We're gonna push those leaves up a little bit, and then we're gonna be done. All right, so the question is, do we use orange here and here, or do we orange and then have pink over here? What's your vote? Same on both sides, different on both sides. Let me hear it. Same, different. Same, different. Let me get some other flowers. Hold on. Same or different? Same or different? What do you think? Same or different, guys? You want to have the same on both sides? Hopefully you guys are saying different, because I got some different ones I just pulled. Same. Uh-oh, Lois. Same. Guys, this is kind of the same, right? Look at these. What are these called? What are these called? Do we like these big ones or no? Do we like these? What do we think? I thought that might look good, but now that I have it here, because I thought like it has a rose here. These aren't roses, but I thought maybe like it might achieve the look we're going for. What do we think? Peonies. Thank you, Lois. And then we could still stick this back here. I like that. Okay, so I'll be doing the same. These are kind of the same, slightly different. Yeah, this is what I used to do. I would take the stem and I would rip it off, which you can't do on this one. And then I would just stick it on the pipe cleaner. So I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. But I would do that all the way around. That was the problem because you couldn't see any of my florals from the front. You know, and I'd be like, oh, my wreath has such a good profile view, which I still say that. I do love the profile views of my wreaths. But I would say it has such a good profile view. But I mean, that's good, but your customer's not paying to see the wreath from the side. They're paying to see the wreath from the front, right? You know, that's what people see when they come up to your house, is the front. They're not looking at the side of your wreath normally. So, I mean, it helps to have a good profile view, of course. That's always a good thing. I'll say that. Oh, you like those? Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. You know, it's in the same color family, so I feel like we're good. And there are roses in here, and I feel like it kind of brings that out. All right, so let's stick our daisies, which you guys voted same, Peonies, slightly different, but I will be using the same daisies behind them. Yes, yes. Guys, I like when things work out. Like, part of wreath making is like a plan, obviously, but some of it is a little bit of a surprise. You never know exactly. All right, jump up here. We have our 2 magenta ones, and then we're gonna be done. We're just gonna pull it up a little bit. Stick our daisies in there. You guys are in agreement that those orange daisies are not fall flowers, right? Am I the only one that feels that way? Daisies are like spring and summer. Daisies are not fall. Right? Come on. Right, guys? Daisies are not fall. Would you agree with that? Come on, guys. Tell me I'm not wrong. But I mean, them thinking that daisies were fall allowed me to get them at a slightly discounted rate. So whoever made that choice didn't ask me. All right, guys, we're done. Do a little fluffing. Getting them layers. Thank you, Lois. Lois, you're too sweet. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. And we're done. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Don't mind me, I'm just peeling some of my hot glue off. It's not gross, it's hot glue. But sometimes when you cut up your glue sticks to put in there, sometimes if you put too much, it will overflow. And sometimes when you like take your stem and kind of put it over the edge, it will lead to some glue coming out over the side. Okay, guys, we're done. I'm just going to take this time to cut up some daisies are spring. Thank you, Crystal. Gorgeous. Thank you, Crystal. You guys, thank you. I really appreciate hanging out this whole time. You know that this was not, these big wreaths have not been quick wreaths, you know, but I'm thankful that you guys have kept me company, allowed me to chitter chatter, gave me some good wreath advice. I usually use Gorilla Glue, but sometimes I use a mix of like an extra strong glue stick and Gorilla Glue. You know, like a half-C situation. It seems to hold up pretty good. But there you go. While this is still hot, I figured I'd throw those in there. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys, if you guys designed today, I hope it turns out exactly like you hoped. And I know that they're gonna love this wreath. And it will bring me joy knowing that I was able to bring someone else who cares for our children joy. Just gonna put our wreath sign or our hanger on the back and pull off any hot glue that might have got through, which is not much, which is good. But yeah, this is every time I just use a pipe cleaner to be the wreath hanger. I put it around 2 of the rings so it's nice and secure. A full-length pipe cleaner. I take one of my business cards. I punch a hole in it. I thread it through that pipe cleaner and then I put it on the other side. That way my customer has my wreath information. And you can always glue a business card to the back of your sign, which I'm going to do now that I'm thinking about it, as another spot for them to have your information. I'm just going to dip this in here real quick, this little stem. Our glue is cooling off for sure. I'm going to put a nice dollop. Not so pretty, but you know, does the job. Yeah. Oh, good. Lois, I'm happy you like that. I like it too. I'm very thankful it turned out so nicely. All right, let's stick this business card on the back of the wreath. Sign. Just as another spot to keep my information if anyone asks about it, where they never received it from, because it will be a gift, so they won't be able to reference my Etsy shop. And that's it. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. We'll probably do some tulip stuff. All right. See you later, guys. Bye.